Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Mazel Tov to the Rosen family. And I just want to say, you ever have something in life where you do something a very, very long time ago, and it comes to fulfillment only many, many years later? So about 20 years ago, I was leading Kabbalat Shabbat, and I put the fifth verse, the Hitorari, in the wrong place. I was a young cantor, I was very nervous. And so now, 20 years later, I omitted Hitorari entirely from the Kabbalat Shabbat, so my apologies to all of you. But know that some things in life, the extra Hitorari of one era becomes the lack of Hitorari, and the yin and yang all fit together nicely. So, but I can guarantee you we'll have a complete Lechadodi next week. So, tonight I want to talk very briefly about a question. The question is, how will we be remembered? It's a big theme. High holidays are coming up. The Book of Life is open. But I was just as much inspired by that fact as the fact that I attended from the first time the Dallas Jewish Historical Society gala last night, where we celebrated not only the generosity of the night's honorees, Barry Loschchild and Debbie Levy, but this question of how we wish to be remembered. And I want to tell you, by the way, that Anshe's clergy made up a full 50% of the clergy of Dallas that were there that night, at least that I saw. So I guess you're there. It was nice to be with my colleagues. So, but here's the question that night of how do we wish to be remembered. I remember on the Jumbotron, the kids and grandkids talked about Barry and Debbie's values that they're going to take into their own lives. Generosity, they said, doing what is right, serving the community, and making strong Jewish memories. And these are things that they will always carry with them because of their parents and grandparents. Now, the Historical Society records the history of Dallas so that we can look back on our Jewish past and know where we came from. It's good to know where you come from. But it also brings with this the acknowledgement that we one day will live on in history, in memory, but no longer in body. This is why we say when someone passes, may their memory be for a blessing. Other than along with our children and our teachings, it is memory that is the source of our earthly eternity. The Torah itself is history, right? It's a profound document of Jewish memory over which everyone who's getting an aliyah tomorrow will recite the words, V'chaye olam nata betochenu, and eternal life you have placed in our midst. It's not just eternal life, it's eternal memory. It is the transmission of our history by which we, both in body and soul, are the same as our ancestors and through which we as people experience eternal life. So, you've probably heard before the difference between living for your resume versus living for your eulogy. Anyone heard this? Sometimes it goes on the internet as eulogy values and resume values, right? That's an old and good distinction. Things that look good on X or Instagram or Facebook will typically not make your eulogy. Nor are they likely to occupy the square foot of stone on which our epitaphs will one day be printed. But, as a Jewish historian, I know there is one thing that usually makes the eulogy, which is quite special, and that is actually leading services, which is Adam is about to do in just a few minutes. Now you may think I'm joking, but if you look through the old cemeteries, leading prayer is one of the things that made it onto hundreds of epitaphs. I'm going to read you one from 1628, from the headstone of Abraham Schatz ben Israel in Prague. I'll translate just a little from the Hebrew. Rise up and cry and lament at the passing of the joyous sacred singer, a father in wisdom but tender of years. His prayer was made with great intent, a trusty messenger to those who sent him, with love and reverence at every time and season. Who can count his praises? So this week, I want to say I know that the rabbis and I are super proud of Adam, who is leading a lot of the service. The rabbis and I joke we're about to get basically the weekend off, which is wonderful. But it's not just that we're proud, it's just that we're, as we are of all B'nai Mitzvah, it's because leading prayer, as you know and feel, is a special thing. It gives back to the learner, both as a praying Jew, but also as a leader. You learn to be a trusty messenger, to dialogue with the congregation and with God, and over time, to build your intention and heart with love and spirituality. So one of the things actually I love about synagogues is that they are really great places to learn eulogy values rather than resume values. Hebrew school doesn't usually make it on the resume, but it is good for building your character and your heart. Studying Torah may or may not count as extracurriculars on your one-day college applications, but it will make you wise. And learning to lead services doesn't count as voice lessons, nor is it purpose for social media, although we find ways. But it will teach you duty and music and spirituality. And the fact that we even avoid phone use on Shabbat also teaches this lesson of resume versus eulogy values. As Rabbi David Wolpe, our upcoming February scholar in residence here at the shul, recently taught, the phone is a symbol that what is in front of us and who are in front of us are maybe not as important as those as someone or something somewhere else. But in the synagogue, Adaramba, on the contrary, we always try to be focused on who and who is right before us. As it says right behind me, Da mi lifnei mi ata omed. Know before whom and whom you stand. So synagogues are the places where we live these eulogy values: generosity, doing what is right, serving the community, and making strong Jewish memories, things that you will always carry with you, and we hope that you do. Here we make history. We pass down Jewish practice and knowledge and ethics from generation to generation, such as we get to see on wonderful days like today, and we'll see, of course, on Shabbat tomorrow morning with the family. Adam, your leadership is among those things to which we point to as among our most important values, things that might one day get remembered at a historical society gala.